Most people with 9 to 5 jobs get health and life coverage baked into their benefits package. But what happens when you're your own boss? No HR, no corporate plan, just you figuring it out. Entrepreneurship is bold, it's about vision, risk, and building something from scratch. But bold moves need smart protection for your life, for your family, and your future. I'm your host, Cody Ann Barrett, and today I'm joined by someone who knows firsthand what it takes to grow a business, CEO of Bluedot Insights, Larren Peart. Larren, welcome to Living Fully.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start here. So most people with a corporate job, they get automatic benefits, health insurance, life coverage, maybe pension.
Right.
But for you, starting Bluedot, there was no HR department. So you're just looking out for you. What did you really feel like in the early days, having to create your own safety net for your business?
What is a safety net? I don't know if I don't even know what that is. So yeah, definitely when you're starting out, there is no such thing as a safety net. You're really trying to figure out how to make payroll every week or every month. Sorry. Well, in my case, every month, and that is the primary focus. Everything else is secondary when you just start. Insurance, unfortunately, at that time in the early stages, is just a nice to have. Phase 5 in the business, So it is getting clients, paying taxes, making payroll, maintaining your business, and everything wrapped up into that is very, very stressful.
So long after you started the business, then you started to consider coverage.
Yeah, man. So at some point when you start to grow, then employee retention becomes important. And one of the ways to retain employees is to offer benefits, and that is when insurance becomes. Or that's when I started to look at insurance, when big corporate Jamaica started to poach my employees.
Wow.
With the benefits, right, that they can provide and offer.
So you started out with what? Just health coverage?
Not even health.
Okay.
Yeah, because the other thing is that individual health is hard to get when you're small.
When you're a small business?
When you're a small business. If you have less than 5 employees, 10 employees, then it's not easy to get health insurance, just because of how the setup is. So when you're starting out, whether or not you can afford it, it's just not even possible to get health insurance initially. So that's a deterrent as well.
With entrepreneurship being a roller coaster where income is concerned,
Right.
1 month is booming, next month nothing is happening.
Right.
How did you manage those unpredictable financial times, along with the idea that you need to be competitive, you need to have something to keep staff? How did you manage all of that?
The grace of God.
What was the tough decisions?
I mean, there are still tough decisions. I still make very tough decisions even today. I don't like how the questions are in the past tense, right? It's
still presently happening.
Yeah, man.
You're still navigating. You're still
there's still 100 decisions to be made every single day. But from startup to we took on investors in our 6th or 7th year, and that kind of balanced us out. But even up until that point, there was a point in time when we were seeking even investors, and I was told that I had to get Keyman insurance, right? Because, and the reason for that is that when you don't have a lot of collateral, like in a business by myself, business like ours that's service-based, and you're small, it was important to get Keyman insurance to satisfy the investors, right? So that is another point when insurance.
Break it down for us. What is Keyman insurance?
Forgive my layman explanation of it, but essentially Keyman is, God forbid you die, there is a portion that is, or the insurance covers, any debt or it covers funds to run the business. after you die. So for example, people will say that I'm the face of Bluedot, which may result in some fallout in business if, God forbid, I passed. So acquiring Keyman insurance was important for me at the time. So to ensure that the business can sustain itself afterwards.
But also attract investors, right?
And for the sake of investors, yes.
Okay. As an entrepreneur, ambition drives you, but security is what sustains you. And insurance, planning, all of those things are seen as protection. And you're seeking investors and you're also taking risk as a business. So how did these two help you or made you feel more comfortable to take bold risks?
So, I was even up to this morning, I was telling somebody that ambition is a blessing and a curse, right? With taking ambition, or with having, ambition, not being judgmental, you take on a lot of risk, right? And that risk can, is either calculated risk or, in my case, most of the times not calculated risk. I jump off the cliff and then figure out how to build a parachute on the way down, right? In most cases. Fortunately, at some point in time in our growth trajectory, I was able to focus on other things that would allow, for security and peace of mind. Vis-a-vis, like I said, insurance for myself, insurance for staff. I travel a lot for business, so I have international health insurance. I have local insurance. I spend over $100,000 a month on insurance, right? Health, life, everything combined, and international health, because it is necessary. I travel a lot for work, so God forbid something happens to me overseas, I need to have that security and that peace of mind that I can be able to afford to hopefully handle whatever it is that comes my way.
You said for you, insurance was something you thought about later on because you had to get the business up and running first.
Right.
And a lot of other entrepreneurs also put insurance later on.
Right.
Is it something that you think that should be given consideration earlier in the business based on probably your personal experience? Had anything happened that would have changed your mind on that perspective?
The truth is that earlier on it is a nice to have. You have so many other things juggling, so many other bills to pay.
Right.
When I went out on my own, I literally only had 3 months worth of living expenses, right? And the first 5 years was extremely rough, so whether or not I understood the value of having insurance, it's just not something that I could even afford or even think of doing. There is literally everything that you need to pay. I've told this story many times. I've had to pawn my car and my fridge and everything just to meet payroll. So definitely at those points in time, insurance would not. Even if I had it, it would have taken up the back seat.
But you still got it, even though you said you're still navigating, still trying to balance everything. But you still got insurance for the company, for your staff.
Right.
So,
and then there's the other thing around, being an entrepreneur and risk taking, right? So I still, as an entrepreneur, feel like I can go and invest in another business or invest in a business and that be my insurance, right? So that's that struggle that I think entrepreneurs have, where you trust yourself more than an insurance agency, right? So, in certain decisions, I'm like, well, if I go and invest in another business, then that business can give me the yields and the returns and the money that, God forbid, something happens, then I rely on that versus putting money in, spending money on insurance.
Yeah.
So that is also a part of the decision-making framework that entrepreneurs go through. But
Right.
when you get to a certain point now, then the decision becomes easier, and that's how I ended up having so many insurance policies.
What would be your recommendation for people who, want to go out on their own? Is it something that they should consider early on, or should they wait until they feel like they're a little bit successful, now they can take it on?
To go out to start a business or to go
Insurance.
or insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean everybody's situation is different. You have to assess you. I think what especially the health insurance initially did for us was it gave my employees a peace of mind. So I'm trying to compete with big corporate, and I'm trying to poach good employees from corporate Jamaica as well. So, I'm trying to maybe I shouldn't say to use poach, but I'm trying to attract employees from big banks, big corporations.
And they're coming from
Yes,
benefits.
yeah, man.
A lot of benefits.
Them have low loan rates, interest
Yeah.
rates for loans,
Yeah.
all sorts of things that I can't compete
Yeah.
with, right? From an affordability standpoint, insurance is probably the most affordable benefit that a business can attain, can acquire. A small business can have in its wheelhouse to attract.
That's where you suggest that they begin.
And retain, right? So of course, health insurance is absolutely a must.
And then stacking on that, what would you say would be a next good benefit?
So there's dependent on the type of business. There's other insurance, liability insurance, etc. Like I said, I have Keyman insurance for myself because, God forbid something happens, I need the business to continue. So health in order. Business-wise, there's health and then life, so you can offer your employees some amount of life insurance, some sort of pension benefit, etc. And then the CEO owner gets Keyman.
Okay. Are you contemplating any additional coverage now for your staff, at least?
Yeah, we need to. We're about to upgrade our pension plan.
Okay.
I'll talk to FFK about it.
Okay.
Because we're trying to compete on a different level now, so I need as many benefits in the wheelhouse. Yeah.
Was there a point, or you said things are still happening,
Yeah.
but was there a point before you had coverage? Did anything happen that, without the coverage, it would have set you back?
Thankfully, no.
Yeah, okay.
But like I said, the peace of mind is even more important, right? Knowing that God forbid something does happen, that there is coverage, especially for me because I travel so much for work. I think the plan that I have covers up to $10 million US, I think, in accidents or any type of sickness or health overseas if something happens to me while I travel. So that definitely gives me very good peace of mind.
I know initially you said insurance is something you think about later on, after you try to build a business, but then you saw the benefits of having it with investors, with retaining staff.
Yeah.
Is there any other benefits that you saw coming out of getting insurance?
Nothing that comes to mind right now. The initial decision, if I'm being honest, was staff retention.
That's what pulled your legs.
Yes, it was staff retention. Definitely staff retention. Like I said, people are coming from all over.
How long has Bluedot been in the establishment now?
We turn 11 in next week, Wednesday, on the 1st actually.
And it was 5 years into the business that you decided to get.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not long.
It's relatively.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least you're forward thinking.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Did it actually help you to secure the amount of investor funding that you are looking to raise?
Definitely.
Did it? So
Definitely.
you recommend it as one of those pillars or one of those elements that is needed if you're looking to Not
Yeah.
just keep staff, but
Right.
also raise funding.
Right. So not I wouldn't say needed, but some investors will ask for it. It makes them feel a little bit more comfortable. In my case, I was at the time the face of Bluedot and the out there from a visibility standpoint, visibility standpoint. So, the investors thought at the time that, again, if something happened to me, then the likelihood of the business succeeding would have been less than if, so getting Keyman insurance was important.
All right, Lauren, so the name Blue Dot has become synonymous with political polls, data, and research. Can you tell us more about Blue Dot?
So we're in the business of decision making, is how I'd like to put it. So we allow our clients, public, private parties, political parties, to make better decisions with data. So we provide everything from traditional market research to data analytics, neuroscience, etc., all with the aim of providing insights to our clients for decision making.
Okay. Now, who is Larren Peart? For our viewers, give us the backstory.
Wow. So backstory is I'm a dreamer, right? And I've always, from typical story, I'd say most entrepreneurs selling lollipop, um, bottle returns at school to make money, etc., etc. I had a sound system when I was 16. So I started entrepreneurship pretty early. More out of necessity, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, Blue Dot started. We turned 11 on October 1st. So in a week or two, or less than a couple of days from now. And it's been a pretty rewarding journey. The roller coaster has definitely been roller coastering over that time, but I've learned a lot, and I think we've built a pretty good brand, and there's been definitely a lot of ups and downs, but I think we've added a lot of value, not just to our clients, but more importantly to our employees who work for us and who've learned and grown. I've also gotten very big on philanthropy, so I give back a lot, personally and through Blue Dot as well. I try to lend my voice to national issues, especially around crime and injustice. I've donated a lot of money to, well, not a lot, but enough, a bit of money to Crime Stop.
We've also watched you be mentored by who's of who, Michael Leachin, Don Webby,
Right.
and you said that you give back. Is mentorship
Yeah,
one of those
man.
ways of giving back as
Yeah,
well?
man, for sure. So there's something called reverse mentorship where
Yeah.
an older person mentors a younger person, and they both learn from each other. That has helped a lot. I've also learned from the likes of, thankfully, Mr. Leachin and Mr. Webby of blessed memory. And I'd like to think that they've learned from me in some way as well. And then I also, because Blue Dot got funded twice, a lot of young entrepreneurs ask me a lot of questions about how to go around getting funded and raising funds for investments, etc. So I try to give back in that way as well.
What is one thing that you learned from Leachin, one thing you learned from Don Webby, and three things that you would pass on to younger entrepreneurs or to our viewers?
I think from Michael Leachin, it would be that he has a framework for decision making, and he's very principled about how he makes decisions. If an opportunity comes to him and it doesn't fall within a particular framework, no matter how attractive the opportunity looks, he's not doing it. All right. For Mr. Webby, it would definitely being human and giving back.
Which would probably the reason why you decided to get health insurance for your employees.
I guess you could draw that line there, but yeah, you know, Mr. Webb is you know, GK Foundation, etc., does a lot of philanthropy.
They're big on human capital.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
What these principles that you mentioned about leaching for decision making, can you share?
So he has, forgive me. There's a formula that he has. I really don't remember it now.
Okay.
But it is very principled. You know, if these 4 boxes aren't ticked, he's not doing it, no matter what.
And the 3 things that you'd pass on to entrepreneurs, 3 key lessons.
Grit.
Yeah.
Be stupid.
Fast.
All right. Yeah.
Fast.
And humility.
All right, so Larren, before we wrap up, we're going to play a little game. It's called Safe or Sorry. I'm going to ask you some questions and you let me know where they land. Okay?
All right.
All right. Paying for office rent and equipment every month, but skipping health coverage for yourself. Safe? Sorry?
Sorry.
Okay. Why? Why is it?
I mean, safe means I will skip it.
No. Safe, yes. This is something I do. Sorry, no, definitely not going to do that. Safe? Sorry?
Sorry.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Explain.
Rent important.
Okay.
Well, we have to. Yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry, insurance brokerages. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spending big on marketing campaigns, but not setting aside anything for protection.
What's the in between safe
There's
and sorry?
no in between.
Because you need marketing to pay the insurance premium. Safe-ish, sorry-ish.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Larren, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciated your perspective.
Thank you.
So the real boss move isn't just building bold, it's living secure. I'm your host, Cody-Ann Barrett. And to you watching, building your dream is one thing. Protecting it is what makes it last. This is Living Fully, presented by FFK, solving tomorrow's problems today. See you next time.